Okay,
Ready?
I think you're on.
Okay.
You think? You think?
We're here at the KWJZ Music Festival in Seattle, Washington. We just got the "It's On" sign.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
This is
Thank you,
Freddie
Federico Fellini.
Freddie V, saxophonist,
That's correct.
average white band,
Correct.
and solo smooth jazz artist.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay,
Sure.
good.
Nice toenails, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you. Lovely. Show my toenails and show these hot shoes he's got.
Oh, you like those shoes?
Woo!
Thank you.
I didn't have to hire a stylist for these
No, I guess not. Obviously.
So anyway, we're hanging in Seattle. It's a bit wet and rainy today.
It is. It's sort of like Scotland, actually.
Yeah.
I'm used to that. Yeah.
Because explain why? Because I didn't know the guys were from Scotland.
I educated you this afternoon.
Yes.
The Average White Band, who I've been with for 15 years now, originally from Scotland. So I work with two Scottish guys all the time, and I spend quite a lot of time over there.
Okay.
It's a great country.
It's beautiful, I'm sure.
Well, it's beautiful, but it's like this.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's
why it's so
gray.
green, I think,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
This is what in Scotland this is called a smur. A smur.
You know, I like that. I like the accent.
Smur.
I have a bit of a crush
Oh,
on.
hi, Jimmy.
I have a bit of a crush on Craig Ferguson.
Oh, he's great.
So,
I
yeah,
love Craig
yeah, me
Ferguson.
too.
He's very
I
fun.
had a photo taken with him once.
What can you
Not
do?
on a lounge chair like this.
No, see?
This
see?
is
Yeah,
hot.
this is special just
Have
for
you ever
us.
done an interview like this?
I can't say that I have.
Okay.
Can't say that
So
I have.
Freddie has got a new album out, and we've been featuring it on smoothjazz.com for a while now.
Yes, you have, and I thank you for your support.
We love it.
I shall wear it always, as we say.
Nice. And what is? I'm not going to even bring my mind back from where it's wandering. The title is.
Easier than it looks, because it's much easier than it looks. Because I make it look very difficult. People watch me and they go, "Wow, you make it look so hard." It's much easier than I make it look.
You make it look so hard. You've been with the Average White Band for 15 years.
15 years.
Man.
Yes.
So you've been playing Pick Up the Pieces a long time now.
Yep. I've been with Average White Band longer than the original band was together.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it?
And you know, it's an honor, I would imagine, because that's one of the funkiest, soulful bands ever.
It is. I grew up listening to them.
Yeah, me
I
too.
grew up listening to them.
So tell us about your solo project, because you know we're on smoothjazz.com, where you're heard often.
Yes.
And I know people want to know about the project.
Gee, what should I say? Well, it took 3 years to get it done, which I don't know. Is that a long time in the record business?
It's kind of a bit.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where I was playing on Average White Band gigs, and people were going, "You should do a solo project." Not necessarily that voice, but but they were doing that.
Who are these people?
Yes.
Are they Scottish?
So it took me a while, but with various producers, and nothing ever came of it. And finally, I teamed up with a really old friend of mine named Mo Pleasure.
Oh, I
don't know if you know Mo.
Yeah.
But he was Earth, Wind & Fire's musical director. He played with Janet Jackson. He was actually on the last Michael Jackson tour. He's an amazingly talented guy. Plays so many instruments. I'm glad he doesn't play saxophone. And finally, between the two of us, we came up with these songs and enlisted the help of every friend that I could possibly enlist. And it was one of those things where it's people from all over the planet. The guitar player from London, and I'm in Atlanta, and there's guys that recorded their parts in New York, and guys that recorded their parts in Sacramento, and a cavalcade of stars, as they say.
Wow.
And it came about that way, and it still took 3 years, but I'm really proud of the results. I'm really happy about the way it turned out, you know.
Well, as you should be, and you have a lot of industry fans that are supportive.
Yeah,
I know our good friend Deborah Leewow is behind
Deborah,
it.
yes.
Yep.
She's been very helpful in getting it out to the people, and that's the most gratifying thing, is to find out that people that don't know about my history with the Average White Band are just picking it out of thin air and digging it, and that's a great thing.
When you describe the we use smooth jazz for a lot. It's an umbrella moniker. But what would that includes R&B, funk, soul, new groove. So what would you say your sound is?
I mean, it's soul music. That's what I think it is. I think it's instrumental soul music. I mean, I grew up listening to. I was always like the only white kid in all black R&B bands. You know, where I was growing up in Connecticut. And that did not sound right, but yeah. Yeah, like there's not enough white people in Connecticut.
No, it's a minority.
Right,
We
yeah,
understand.
we're a very oppressed minority, us white people, white saxophone players especially. But I mean, that's what I grew up, and really the first music that really reached me was gospel music, actually. Even though I'm not a particularly religious guy, that was the kind of thing, when I first heard a gospel choir, I was like, it was amazing. So there's a huge gospel influence in the music, I think. And my band in Atlanta, most of the guys that played on this record, and my core band in Atlanta, they all have Sunday morning church gigs. They all play in church. You know, they're playing Saturday nights, and they got to get up at 6 in the morning. And that's one thing that I find that I don't get anywhere else. I would, every time I think about moving back to New York, I think about the difference between those guys and the New York players, they're great, but in a totally different way.
Oh,
so I think it's a soul record. It's an instrumental soul record. I mean, there's vocals on it. I'm not singing, but a couple of guys from Average White Band are singing on it, and we've got a tune that was written by Alan Gorey from the Average White Band that has never been recorded before. And we also took an old Average White Band tune and totally turned it around on his head and did a version of that. And I mean, it's basically a snapshot of what I grew up listening to, which is gospel music and what is now become smooth jazz, but like Tom Scott and David Sanborn and those guys are my my idols as far as saxophone playing.
That fusion kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that's what
Cool.
fusion, for whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the word. Yeah,
We got it. That's awesome. So you'll be hearing tracks, many more, I'm sure.
hope so.
From Freddie V on smoothjazz.com.
Great.
And what's your website?
It's FreddieVmusic.com.
Very good. All right, it's Freddie V.
Unless you're in England. Don't do this
Don't
in
do
England.
this in England. And don't do this. Can we do this in England or no?
I
None
guess,
of it.
you can do this.
Peace.
This will work, yeah.
Okay, thanks for joining us in our lounge area
Yes.
here. The Smooth Lounge.
Welcome to the hot tub.
You've got to get on the stage.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Good to see you here.